Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayat. After all, what is knowledge? What is knowledge? And why are we after knowledge? Why do we need it? And what do we mean by knowledge? And why knowledge? And what knowledge? So they are very simple questions, but answer is not very straightforward for all of us. And many a times we miss the essence of the knowledge. We don't know what is knowledge and what is the use of knowledge in a proper way, because there is no clarity of knowledge or of life or the purpose of life. Lots of things are there. They look simple, but they are not simple. To be say very accurate, to be perfect, we need the perfection, the very perfect vision, and say very clear understanding. Then we can, put everything in order. Otherwise, we put things in a very bad order, and we cannot achieve the same thing. There is a formula, there is a word for knowledge is Tattva Jnana. That is Tattva Jnana. Tattva Jnana means to say Tattva is the essence of something, or Tattva is something what it is. Thing Tattva Jnana. Say cowness. This cowness is Tattva, and knowledge is cowness. What is cow? What is cow? That Tattva. And we know as it is, as the cow is, and as the cow is not. Say cow is like this, and cow is not like that. So that is Tattva Jnana. In short, I can say Yatha Artha Jnanam. Say any artha. Artha means any vastu. Say take anything. Say a book is a thing. Artha. We call it artha. So Yatha Artha means how this book is. Say quadrilateral. Quadrilateral is one of the say identity of this book. This book is thick this much. That thickness is the reality of this book. That is one of the aspects of this book. This book is not black. Okay, this book is brown. This book is brown is one thing, and this book is not black is another statement. So in Hindi we can call it जो जैसा है उसको वैसा समझो, जो जैसा नहीं है उसको वैसा नहीं है ऐसा समझो. Mango is mango, and mango is not apple. Apple is an apple, and apple is not a mango. Knowledge like this. No confusion between mango and apple, but it should be very clear there that mango is only mango and apple is only apple, and this is just apple, this is just mango, mango is not apple, apple is not mango. All the way we should be very, very clear, and this right perspective, this right understanding regarding anything is known as the real knowledge of that object, in a positive form, in the negative form. Okay, so there is a definition of that, knowledge, Tattva Jnana we call it. Right word is Tattva Jnana, what it is and what it is not. That is Tattva Jnana, and we must be very, very careful and honest there. Unfortunately, there is no compromise as usual. Tattva Jnana, nothing otherwise than the thing as it is. If you go wrong, that is not Tattva Jnana, that is a Tattva Jnana, against knowledge. It is something against the reality. That is not good. So, once we know the meaning of the word Tattva Jnana, then the second question is, why for we need that knowledge? What is the use of that knowledge? After all, why? If you don't know why, then why are you here? Why are you studying? Why are you going? Why do you need to learn reading and writing? Why do you need to learn Sanskrit and Hindi? After all, why learning then? What is the purpose of learning then? We must know. After all, why should we spend time and energy for knowledge? Why should we give more importance to knowledgeable person than a rich person? After all, why knowledge? To us, you see, knowledgeable person is known as Guru. Guru means big. Guru means bada. You see? And however a rich person may be, still he is not Guru. He is just a rich person. He has got money, that's it, wealth. But still he cannot be the Guru. And you know, there is a proverb in Sanskrit, a subhashit. Vidvatvam cha nripatvam cha naiva tulyam kadachana swadeshe pujyate raja vidvan sarvatra pujyate. It is said, the vidvan, the scholar, or the scholarship and kingship have no comparison whatsoever. Scholarship and kingships cannot be compared at all, because king is honored only in his kingdom, and the kingship is honored, the scholarship is honored in the whole world. Wherever you go, if you are in a scholarship, you are a scholar, you are a vidwan, you will be respected everywhere in the whole world equally, no matter what country you belong to. But king is only honored only in his country. In the other countries, he is just a traveler, just nothing more than that. So once you know the importance of knowledge, only then you can say like this. Otherwise, many a times what happens in the society, we respect wealthy people and we ignore the scholars, we ignore the vidwans, pandits, the acharya, shastris, or knowledgeable person. We say, let us see. But first, rich. If rich man comes, all of us stand up and say, namaste, 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 respect. And for any vidwan, any scholar, any acharya, any shastri, just we ignore. We don't go, we respect that way, because we do not know the importance between the knowledge and the wealth. Very simple. And that's why you see, the simple formula is the essence, the secret of lots of things. You see, the whole life is put into order here. Whole life. And the whole purpose of knowledge, the whole purpose of life, just these three words. Very simple. You understand just these three words together, we call it formula, the sutra, enough for the life. Enough for the life. Message is got. We got the message. So, the purpose of knowledge is, you see, very, very important. If you say, explain it in your words, how do you explain it? What is the purpose of knowledge after all? Why knowledge? Why not ignorance something else? Why we are so rigid? Why we are so, say, hard? Why we are so, strict? And why we give too much importance to knowledge? After all, why? What is the relevance of that tattva jnana, that knowledge in the life? Very big question. Many times to know, but many times again we forget it. We ignore it. We must know the knowledge. And you see, you are here only because you have given more importance to any other business of your life. I know you have lots of things to do in the life, but to you, this comes next. And therefore it is said, many more people would have been succeed in this life if they had put first thing first in their life. Very important thing. First thing first and last thing last. What can I say? Or I can say you don't know. Spiritual development, eh? Great. I am very happy. And this is the right answer. Still, I can add something more, but you are quite close to the, real answer. You know, basically, I have been discussed these things many a times, but it takes time to, digest the knowledge. That's why it is said, you learn a quarter from your acharya. Acharyat padamadatte padam shishyasva medhaya. We learn a quarter from our teachers, from Acharya, and we learn a quarter from, say, with our own brain, with our own intelligence, with your own efforts. Acharyat padam adatte padam shishyasva medhaya padam sabrahmacharibhya padam kala kramena cha. And remaining quarter we learn from our friends, our colleagues around, people around, we can call it. And the quarter, the last quarter, in the course of time. See, in the whole life, you keep on learning, keep on learning. You see, we young kids are learning and our daddy is also learning. Still, that one quarter never finishes, right? So never leave the hope of learning. Keep it on, keep it on. There is a scope of learning, basically. But quarter from our teacher, quarter from within your brain, and quarter from your friends, colleagues, and quarter in the course of time. So this is the process of learning. So you have learned already. You know, I know that you know, but still, just to make you sure that always keep things in order, and you must be very particular. Don't get confused or no ambiguities. No way, no use of ambiguities. Clarity should be there. Whenever you take the step, should be very, very clear in all respect. So, the simple sutra says, Abhyudaya Nishreyasa Siddhi. Abhyudaya means worldly progress, material progress. Not only physical, means bodily, but just physical progress. Everything in the material form. And we need material progress as well. We cannot survive poor in this country. We cannot survive without money. We cannot survive without clothes. We need the home, everything. You see, that is the need of the life. Therefore, material prosperity and another is spiritual prosperity. Means the liberation, the moksha. Very simple. So, worldly progress means you must have all those things you need to survive. Without that you cannot. No use. Only spiritual progress cannot help you to be happy. Say you are a very spiritual person and you don't have anything to eat. How can you be happy? How can you enjoy the life? Very simple is this. So, if you have knowledge, you can do material progress and you should be able to do your spiritual progress. That is the real knowledge. Many times what happens, knowledgeable people, they progress materially but not spiritually, and some people try to say improve them spiritually but not material wise, and still imbalance. Both are unhappy. The beauty of life is we need both things, material development and spiritual development, and this is what the whole life is. And only knowledge alone can help you to develop materially and spiritually. That is the goal of life. That is the goal of life. Therefore, and if it is the case, you always make sure whatever knowledge we have, are we going to use for the same cause of the life, that is material progress and spiritual progress? There is always imbalance. And especially our, ordinary people, they do only material progress, and our spiritual people do only spiritual progress, and both of them are unhappy. No coordination, no balance. There is no knowledge here. Half knowledge. Half knowledge is not good. Dangerous thing. Agha hakim, nim hakim khatre jan. A doctor, half doctor, a dangerous thing. So you should be very, very clear. This is the message for the whole life to all of you. And I can say, if you at least remember this thing in these lecture series, I can say at least you have got the message. Message should be there. So the purpose, the relevance of life is to help us to progress materially and spiritually. And this is the right order. Why order? Without material progress, you cannot do spiritual progress. If you are a poor person, if you are a hungry person, you cannot do spiritual progress at all. Just forget. I don't believe in these kind of things. No way. If you want to be spiritually better, I ask you how many money you have got in your account. Have you got enough things to eat? Okay. Have you got your home? Everything? Without that, how can you expect the spiritual progress, dear? You are always, under stress, under pressure. No. So we need both things together. Both things together. That is the real purpose of knowledge, and that is the knowledge itself. Okay. So you always make it clear that you got the message. And here again, explain, after all, the definition of knowledge. What is knowledge? Yatha artha darshanam, as I explained. See, जो चीज जैसी है उसको वैसा समझना. Try to understand the things as they are and as they are not. Okay, very clear. And there are few words in this Pramana Shastra. We must know, by the way, I will tell you. Prameya means the thing we want to know. You see, the thing we want to know. Prameya. Prameya means which is to be known, which is to be understood. Okay? Prameya. What do you want to understand? That is Prameya. How do you understand? With the means of Praman, with the help of Praman, with the instrument of Praman. This is the instrument of understanding the knowledge. That is Praman. Praman is the instrument. And with the help of this Pramanas, we know really the Prameya, the essence of the thing. You see? And we understand the things. And Pramiti is that knowledge, that essence itself, which we know with the help of Praman. Pramiti. Prameya is the principle itself, and Pramiti is the knowledge, and again Prama is knowledge, and Pramata, one who knows. Pramata, one who knows, one who understands it. Pramata. So these are, philosophical words. You may not need it at this stage, but maybe at a higher level I will go in those details. So now you come to the means of achieving knowledge, or instruments of knowledge, or the criteria, or the process, or the method, or the way of achieving knowledge. How do we know that this is a right thing, this is a wrong thing? What are the means? What are the means? These are the means of knowledge, I can call it. These are the instruments of knowledge. And with this instrument, we check it, whether it is right or wrong, good or bad. We examine it. I can say, with these 8 tastes of truth, we examine the truth. We verify the truth and untruth. So, those 8 pramanas are known as Pratyaksha, Anuman, Upaman, Shabda, Aitiya, Arthapatti, Sambhav and Abhav. Pratyaksha means perception, you see. Perception. And the definition of this Pratyaksha is Atma, Indriya, Mano, Artha, Sannikarshotpannam Jnanam, Avyapadesham, Avyavachari, Vyavasayatmakam, Pratyaksham. This is the way we study our darshanas, our Indian philosophy. In our Indian philosophy, which is known as the Upangas of the Vedas, one of them is Nyaya Darshan, and that Nyaya Darshan is again to prove and to verify the principles of the Vedas. Without these pramanas, you cannot say that this Veda mantra is right or wrong. This statement is right or wrong. How do we know? This Pramana Shastra is to verify the knowledge of the Vedas, the knowledge of anything. Without that, you cannot say this is right. If I say, if this statement is right, I say, prove it. How do we prove it? How do we prove it? We have to prove. And these are the, instruments of proving some statement. The first is perception, and these, you see, this is the definition of that one. This is this is what the pratyaksh is, and how we get that knowledge, pratyaksh, that perception, is well explained in this sutra. If I really explain this sutra properly, you will be surprised to know how our Indian philosophy works and how hard it is, how honest it is, and how great it is. No religion, no country has given such a taste of knowledge, but only our Vedic culture. Our Sankhya say instruments of knowledge in a way, and let us think over the definition. I will just give you one example, and there is how do they work, or what is their style. Indriya, Mana, Artha, Sannikarsh. Sannikarsh means contact. They are in one contact. You see? Atma means soul. All the organs, Panch Jnanendriya, Panch Karmendriya, organs of action, organs of sense, and then mind, just in one line. You see, in contact with each other. That is the Atma is in the same, and Artha is the same line. For example, say take this is the object, okay, and before the earth there is a mind, okay, mind, and before the mind there is 10 organs of action and sense, okay, soul. So 1, 2, 3 and 4 together in one line, then like this, and it's come to here, okay. And whatever think, someone is blind, no organ, no eyes, blind person cannot see the flower. Can you see? Can a blind person see? No. Can a deaf person say no eye, no tongue, cannot taste? If any organ is damaged, you cannot get the message of this object. You don't know what it is. They just try to touch, because no eyes, difficulty in to know what it is. They don't know where is the chair, where to sit. See, because they have no eyes, they just use their hands and touch. They use the touch knowledge of all our say, but still you don't know what is going to happen around you. Many a times, when you read a book and there is a radio is on, and if I ask you, was radio on? Radio? I don't know. You don't know. Radio was on basically, but he didn't realize because his mind was busy in the book. His mind had on it or not. So organ is there, but mind is not there. I say, मैंने ध्यान नहीं दिया. I was there, my eyes were there. Then the mind is sleeping. You are sleeping, and radio is on. You don't listen. All the and still don't know, because mind is not available to receive that. You see, it's very interesting. Basically, it takes time, but you people are very busy. Basically, I had to. Okay, no problem.
When I want the radio, Acharya in India. That's why I brought that example. My mind is not there, and I'm sleeping.
Then you see, say these are the 10 organs. You see here. Through mind, only one knowledge passes through at a time. Only one, not two knowledges at a time. We can do one thing at a time, not two things at a time. There is a definition that mind is, the identity of that mind is one which allows only one to this time, one at a time. Yeah, people many times ask these questions when I start teaching this way. Actually, our mind is so fast, and it can attain, at least I can say, thousands things in 1 second. Can attain our any organ, any information, you see, 1,000 informations in 1 second, for example. So quick, you don't know. The speed of mind is tremendous. You see, if you take the bunch of flowers, green bunch of flowers, and if you hit a needle over the bunch of leaves, you don't realize, you think within no time it just passed through, but still there is an order. See, it hit first leaves first, second leaves next, second leaves next, second leaf next, and I think when it hit the last leaf, that was the 100th turn, and within fractions of seconds it has passed through hundreds of leaves, and we think, oh, it is just in a moment I did it, but that one moment is the collection of fractions. So many times you see, our bodies, we are walking, but don't realize where we are, but mind is not there, that we are not getting the message what's going to happen. So when you come to getting the messages, one message at a time, only one message at a time. You cannot listen two people at a time. You listen them turn by turn, turn by turn, turn by turn. You cannot listen to people at a time. When say, you stop please, you stop, let me talk. Don't talk two people together. One at a time. Why? Because we can't listen two things at a time. Though we are listening, but we cannot understand. We cannot, get the proper message to the soul separately. We get confused. We say, I was speaking, you heard my half sentence and you heard the half sentence of Jay. Can you make this meaning? We ask, oh, what is your last part and what is your first part? And last and first part of the sentence. Very important thing. It is, you see, the soul, that's something, I don't know what it is. After all, what is that mind? I see, with the time is known as mind. And it's very, very powerful, very, very active, great, as a tremendous. I can say the highest speed means faster than mind. Mind is the fastest thing. In a minute, it can have whole, say, touch the whole world, the universe, like this. Bombay, Delhi, New York, London, Toronto. You just name and mind is there. Mind is very, very fast. We can't realize it. So, what I mean to say, if you want to know the object, there should be mind, you should be mindful, and your organs must be okay, and your soul should be there. If there is, you see, object, mind and organ, and no soul, who is going to receive the message? The soul is not there, who is going to receive the message? But no soul, no message. So, all these things should be in contact with each other in one line. Only then you can get the knowledge. So, you should be mindful, you should have proper organs, you should have your soul there, and the object also. What do you know? What do you get? Nothing. Just closing your eyes. See here, cow, object is not there. So, object, mind, organs, and the real knowledge. And this perception is the real knowledge. Okay? You say, your mind is not okay. Still a problem. You cannot understand things. If there is, say, any organ, but not a perfect organ, say old people, old person has a cataracts, and he cannot see, one is damaged, cannot see properly, or one who is suffering, he says everything is yellow, he sees only everything yellow. So still, because, and same is the case with soul. So there are lots of possibilities here where we can go wrong. Yes, contact is there, but still we can go wrong. So there is a contact, you can get the knowledge. but the knowledge you have got should be a knowledge you get. You cannot, for example, this is a flower, fragrance is there, mind is there, nose is there, soul is there, and you got the fragrance of that flower. And your eyes are closed, but your just nose is open. This flower has some fragrance. And just closing your, this is the rose. You know rose. You see, you know the fragrance. You see. So, but what is understand the fragrance of the rose without smelling it? You say it is a rose, but how does it smell? Like rose, but I don't know. I haven't smelled it. How can you make him to know the taste? And sweet? Yes, it is sweet. I don't know what is sweet. And say if I put some salt on his tongue, this is the sweet. Oh, this is the sweet. He does not difference between the salt and the sugar. What is the difference? We cannot pass the taste, you see. No way. Just by words. You cannot pass that sensation, that feeling in words. That's something which cannot be. That is the perception basically. Say for example, love. To know what's love, keep on repeating. We can't realize what is the love. That is just a perception. Fragrance is a perception. Taste is a perception. You see? Perception. When you listen to music, you perceive it, but you cannot write a letter that I heard the song and it was really nice. But what does it mean? The person sitting on the other end cannot get the right message. What does it mean? How nice it was. You cannot transfer that knowledge in words. You have to taste it yourself. You have to go through yourself. You have to feel it yourself. That is the beauty of that knowledge. That is the identity of that knowledge. Otherwise, you cannot transfer that knowledge. No way. It is a very personal thing. I mean, beyond words. Just experience is the only way. You cannot experience the same thing. You see? I mean, lots of examples can be given. Lots of examples can be given. So, only experience is the real knowledge. We call it perception means experience. That's why perceptive knowledge is the real knowledge and great knowledge. That is the really and only knowledge. Perception. You cannot pass that knowledge through words. No way. And therefore this is the best way of knowing things. Perception. Another is avabhichari. The criteria of that knowledge is avabhichari. Means you know A as only A and B as only B. Do not take A as a B and B as a A. Otherwise that will be vabhichari. Vabhichari means confusion, mixture, something wrong, disorderly put. No, A is A, B is B. It should be so clear, like crystal, you see. No confusion, nothing. Avabhichari. No milavat, no corruption, no compromise here. Avabhichari. A is only A is not B at all, and B is only B, B is not A at all. Avabhichari, no confusion, no gadbad ghotala. Exactly the same thing what you are going to tell me. So, the third one is vyavasayatmakam, means nishchayatmakam, means sure, certainly right, essentially right. It must be essentially right. No chance of doubt, no question of doubt, maybe, perhaps, no way. Just, you see, without doubt, doubtless knowledge. If it is, then we call it pratyaksham. That is the perception, perceptive knowledge. Very Important. Now, to just explain one word, what is the perceptive knowledge? He has given the criteria. You cannot go wrong anywhere. And this is the only perceptive knowledge. There is nothing left to explain it. And to make or to taste wrong, we examine each and every word of the sutra, and it comes true, and then we say this is the right definition of the protection, perception. How hard it is, just like mathematics, so rigid, so honest, so hard. And this is what we do when we study philosophy. When we come to the principles, we are very hard because we have to apply the definitions. We have to make sure that each and every word and taste must hold there. If it is a Vapadesham, if it is a Vapadesham, it cannot be the protection. If it is Vabhichari, it cannot be the protection. If it is not Nishchayatmakam, it cannot be the protection. It cannot be. So this is how we have made the definitions of each and everything. We have given the criteria of the perception, and then we honestly apply them. God, with the help of his protection, perception is say the ultimate, say absolute truth, is exactly the knowledge. So this is just the one definition, and this is the style we study these mantras, and this is our deep understanding regarding those things. I don't understand if anywhere in this world you will find such a hard definition and in such a formula. And therefore, when you study this Nyaya Darshan, and especially the Indian philosophy, you cannot go wrong. No way. And without that, you are just lost. Another thing, when you see any, say, flower, what do you see? What is flower? This is a flower before me, yeah? What is the flower? How can you explain it? What do you mean by the flower? How do you know this is the flower? How do you know? Say you are seeing this flower. What are you going to see? But you are seeing some petals. Is petal knowledge? So the flower? Some other whatever. Fragrance in the flower. Is fragrance in the flower? After what is flower? Color, petals, fragrance.
Mixed flower.
Together mixed flower. But the petals or color or fragrance, then where is the flower really?
But that is the flower. The combination of all these things together makes the flower. That's
makes the flower. Exactly. There is nothing like flower, right? There is nothing like flower. When we put all this in together, we call it flower. But what is all together? Can you show me that flower? Whenever I ask about flower, you show me petals, you show me color, you show me fragrance, you show me something else. But exactly, let me know the flower itself. Can you show me or draw a flower without color, without petals, without these things separately? No. Then how do we know, you see, after all, the things, the flower?
From knowledge.
Only the Praman knows the flower.
Yeah. Basically, when we talk about flowers, we don't see the flowers, but we see the qualities of the flowers. Color is a quality. Petal is a quality. Good. You see? And fragrance is the quality. We perceive the properties and in a way we perceive the object. In itself, object is nothing. A tree. Tree means what? Leaves, flowers, fruits, branches, stem, root. Where is plant? Where is the plant? Where is the tree? We don't know. But we see the qualities, the properties, and we realize, we perceive the object. Percepting the qualities, we perceive the object. If there are no qualities, say there is a flower but no color, can you see with your eyes? Flower, there is flower, but no flower, no color. Can you see the flower? Can you get the object? You are thinking, Nandakumar, too much. Why are you thinking too much?
There's always color.
If there is no color, I mean,
What about water? You say water is colorless.
Still we see
water.
Water has some color.
They say it's colorless.
Comparatively we say like that. Comparatively, water has no color. But if thing has no color, you cannot see with eyes. No color you cannot see. You just tell me anything which has no color, and you can see it. We cannot say things without color. Everything has some color.
So what is color and what is no color? What's the definition of color? No color?
Good, you got the message now, dear. You reached one step ahead. Okay? And this is the purpose. This is the way of studying the philosophy. After all, yes? Question, big question. After all, how do we know the color and not color? See, how do we know? Every question is a genuine question, the part of the subject, part of the lecture. How do we know there is a color and there is not color? You are white and Aisha is red. How do we know?
If you're colorblind, you can still see flowers.
How do we know? Yes, you should be able to know. After all, you know, you see. She is red, you are white. How do we know?
You were taught that way, that red is red.
Not taught.
Or that's your perception coming into play.
How?
Because of knowledge.
Knowledge, perception.
You see, let me know, when will you be able to, you will not be able to recognize or differentiate two colors. Take other way around. When you will not be able to recognize two colors separately. Very simple.
Yeah, blind.
Close your eyes. Why are you opening your eyes? You just close your eyes, you don't know. You close your eyes and don't know what is the color of my pen. If I had something like this, don't know the color of two different things in my hand. Eye is the instrument. With that eyes we differentiate the two colors. We know the difference between two colors. And eyes is the means, is the instrument, is the organ, is the meter to know the different colors. God has given the quality, the ability in our eyes with which we know different colors. And only because of those colors we say, oh, this is this, this is this. If no color, you cannot say anything. Everything has some color. Color is the good property, and seeing that property, you see the object. Very simple. And when we see all these leaves, branches, flowers, and say everything together, then we call it, oh, this is the tree. This is the tree. But still, that perception is not perfect. Flower is in front of you. And you say, yes, I see this is a flower. But have you seen it completely? Can you see a tree, the whole tree? Vidya? Can you see the whole tree? Can you see me as a whole? No, you are lying. Don't lie. In this class you cannot lie, dear. Okay? No way.
Standing there.
No, you cannot see me perfectly. Can you see a tree? Not perfectly. Half. You see half of it. Half tree. You cannot see. You see only the front part of the tree. You don't see the back side of the tree. Yeah? Roots are, you forget about the roots. Even above the earth. Can you see this pen completely? If you see it completely, let me know what is written on this page. You see, I see the pen completely. Let me know what is the name of this pen. Oh, sorry. I want to hide it. Because name is to my side. But still you say, I see the pen, I know the pen, but you know just half the way, not all the way. And still we believe, many times we believe, yeah, this is a pen, this is a tree, this is a human being. You see me this way, you cannot see me that way. When you go back, you cannot see the front. If you are to this side, you cannot to the right hand side. Many times we just see half of the perception, we get the half perception and half assumption. Then in all it becomes true. It's a one thing. But after all, because the qualities, the properties of a tree, you see, are there in the half of the part, and we believe that half of the part must have the same properties. Otherwise you have to go back side. When you go to back side, you cannot see the front side, and when you come to the front side, you cannot see the back side. When you are at the back side, it's a different situation. When you come to the front situation, things are different, not the same. Not the same, because within say 2 minutes, tree is entirely different. There was no flower before, now there is a flower. Yeah? There is some change. You cannot get everything in one go together, or perception is also defective in a way. Half the way perception, half the way assumption.
Isn't that the experiment?
But my main point here is, by percepting the qualities, we perceive the object. Okay? Percepting the qualities, we perceive the object. But another point here, and the beauty, what is the object? After all, what is the object? Object is the collection of qualities. Object is the collection of qualities. Not only collection, but object is the support of qualities. We call it object is the support of qualities. Object is something in which qualities can reside, and without object, qualities cannot stay there. Without object, we cannot see the qualities. You cannot see color without the support, without something to hold that color. Object is something which holds the colors within, and if there is no support of object, qualities cannot exist. Qualities cannot exist. So, object is something which is the support of qualities, the location of the qualities where all qualities can live. If there is no object, you cannot find the qualities there. And by perceiving the qualities, we perceive the object. If you cannot perceive the qualities of the object, you cannot perceive the object. So this is the style we do the perception. We can get the things as they are. So the last thing in this respect, or in this regard, the protection. Say things are very, very, very microscopic. Can you see? We cannot perceive those things. See viruses in the milk, bacteria in the milk, we cannot see. They are so tiny. So God has given us things only to see and perceive up to the standard, but beyond that, we cannot catch it. Just beyond our reach. Things at a distant place, sky, lots of stars like sun, big stars like sun are in the sky, we cannot see. We see only one sun on this earth, in the solar system. We don't know any sun in the other solar systems. And you know how big this sun, the bright sun is, but we cannot see. Why we can't see? The reason? You see, aeroplane is such a big thing. We cannot see in one sight. But when it goes up, we see so little, so small. And if it goes again up and up, you don't see anything. You say there is nothing in the sky. But still you listen, you hear the voice of the plane. You say, where is it? But you can't see, but you can hear it. So, if things are far away from you, beyond the reach of the eye, you cannot get the perception. And when things are very close to you, say kajal in the eyes, you see, we cannot see because it is too close to my eyes. I cannot see. Things are too close, we cannot see. When things are too far, we cannot see. When things have no color, we cannot see. When things are invisible things, we cannot see. Microscopic things, we cannot see. We have limitations. Our organs have limitations. They are meant to see only to some extent. Beyond that, you are not supposed to see. If you and me can see all stars and all the planets and all the solar systems together, oh my God, you cannot, put that much information in this small brain. Then God should have given such a big head like anything, you see. Then only you can get the messages and store them. Because this brain and this body and whatever the ratio, proportion, whatever the needs of our life, everything is proportionally put there, organized and created. So we have to perceive lots of things, but still our perception is limited. What I mean? It is limited. So the point is, if say things are not visible like soul in our body, nobody could take the photo of our soul. So how do we know soul is there in the body? And if you apply the definition, Indriya, our eyes or any other organ cannot see, cannot realize the soul, mind, mind is there, okay, object is there. If things are say very microscopic, and if you follow this definition, which one? Soul, organs, mind and artha and object. If organ is not capable of getting the object, say mind is not capable, say blind, someone is blind, organ is there but not capable, and you see all the messages coming to soul. But how do we know that soul exists there and there is no reach of organs? So how do we know the soul then? Soul itself. How do we know? How to realize? How to perceive the soul? Information is not enough to get the soul. Perception of the soul. How to get it? Therefore, you see, it is written here, Indriya Mano Artha Sannikarsham. Though Indriya is not working there, but things like the soul can be realized with the help of the soul, the mind itself. With the help of Antar Indriya, mind, see, we can realize, we can perceive the things like the soul. Many times we say realize things with the mind which are invisible. So invisible thing like soul can be perceived with the help of mind, or say antar indriya we call it. Some indriya is there within, with the help of which we realize yes, it exists there. So it was not my plan basically to explain it in details. There is still, just little bit about the pratyaksham. We can spend hours together just to know how do we perceive things, and it takes a lot of time. But this is the definition of pratyaksha, the perception. This is the real knowledge. This is very individual. You cannot pass it to anyone. You cannot grab from anyone. It is your personal, very special thing, and that is yours.